you're looking to try to opt into late game team fights against a team that is aggressive and strong in the early game, and it's so hard to do that against SKT.
That's right. Into picks and bans for game number 2 between Samsung and SK Telecom.
Wow, look at this.
Yeah, the respect ban for Jin coming out immediately.
All
They're
right.
just not ready. That pick took them completely off guard.
And now we're going to Crazy Town, though, because there's 2 AD carry bans already, so you're already salivating at what champions might be left open when both Siva and Jin take respect bans.
Lucian and Ezreal.
I mean, I'm talking about other lanes, because something's not going to be able to be targeted if you're going to ban this many champs. Remember how many mid lane bans there were in game 1. Suddenly, mid lane champ pool's wide open.
It's true, and I mean, if Bengi can play Kindred, who knows what he can play? SK Telecom focusing on those jungle bans, though. They will take the Kindred first pick option away from Samsung.
Ryze ban is the first mid lane ban. It feels like Azir first pick is what Samsung are heavily looking towards, but
I think so. Not anymore, though. There's the Azir ban.
So Victor has been the other staple of Crown's champion pool. He's happy to reach for it in the first rotation, but there's a lot of power on the board. All top laners are available. The strongest junglers are off the board, though Elise is arguably a power pick, but the Victor made a lot of sense, and the Victor is the blind pick from Samsung.
Yep, just going to grab that Victor right away. Just a solid mid lane with a lot of wave clear.
Baker's answer to the Victor will be interesting. They could go for a Karma comp again and just split the mid lane, but try and take the game home before any scaling can happen for Samsung. Otherwise, maybe it's a return to LeBlanc Town. That'd be fun.
LeBlanc Town.
Yep.
Everybody wants to visit LeBlanc Town.
Well, every SKT fan is happy when they visit LeBlanc Town.
Well, except for one certain game at the mid-season Invitational a couple years ago.
Those ghosts are gone. They won MSI this year, Doa.
That's true. That's true. They've righted that wrong. So Echo, Rek'Sai, the first 2 picks for SKT.
I can't believe we live in a world where Bengi can play Kindred. It feels like there was like a pre-Samsung SKT Game 1 and post-Samsung SKT Game 1 world, because now suddenly you have to factor in that SKT won't be forced to ban a champion like Kindred on both blue and red side.
It's a good point. The Rek'Sai, though, we've seen a lot from Bengi. He's been very good on that champion for a very long time. Samsung mulling over their next 2 picks. Possibly the Ezreal Braum could work out. Would prevent the Ezreal Karma lane from coming in for SK Telecom at least.
And if we do see these lock-ins, it would also be just a single tier champion. Obviously the build path much more simple and much earlier power spikes available to the Victor. So already they're going for a bit more safety as you say, Rek'Sai is a staple of Bengi's playstyle and champion pool. Question is, where else do SKT want to go with their picks? The Karma served them well in Game 1, and they've been repeat picking wherever possible. Faker has actually picked the same champion in every game he's played in terms of 2 Azir series and 1 Anivia series. He hasn't actually flipped champions mid-series this season.
That's true, so they're going to grab the Ashe for Bang. That's going to be kind of interesting.
He's not a noted Ashe player, but of course his Ashe is going to be just fine. It's Bang is the one who's really expanding his straps. With Ezreal taken away, he's looking for initiation from the AD carry role, so a bit more utility flavor for Bang, who's of course much more known for the Lucian or hard carry performances, at least recently.
It's true, we may actually see Lucian fall all the way through picks and bans this time, which is a bit surprising. Now, if they lock in this Karma, which it looks like they will, that can be flexed. That may not actually be a mid lane pick. We'll see.
On the red side, of course, you're behoved to do that because you do have a last pick for Faker if needs be. At least still available in the jungle pool, so heavily expect that to be taken. And with the wave clear from Victor, okay, so they're going to try something. We've seen 2 comps from Samsung. We've seen the late game team fighting comps, and we've seen the split push Fiora comps. And although they had 2-0 on the Fiora, it's been less reliable and like less clean than you would expect for a team that has, on the whole, been very clean this season.
Well, I agree. I mean, out of the 2 looks we've seen from Samsung this season, the Fiora split push look has seemed significantly weaker. They haven't been able to play around the Fiora that great. So to go for it in Game 2 against Samsung, or against SKT rather, pretty bold. And it looks like they may just send that Karma to the mid lane and give Wolf Nami again. He was fantastic on that Nami in Game number 1. But there's the Zyra switch. We've seen Zyra once this season already, but I think, yeah, the Nami locked in makes a bit more sense. Maybe Wolf giving a preview of what SKT's got going if we go to a Game 3.
I mean, it's worth noting, Ashe Zyra, one of the most famous duo lanes. Cloud9, we're playing a lot of that in Season 3. It still has that value because Zyra can control space in front of Ashe, so good disengage pick. In his career, Bang is 2-0 on Ashe, which, given how many games he's played, for example, he's played 65 games of Ezreal, 50 games of Lucian, 2 games of Ashe, one of the oldest AD carries, lets you know that is definitely kind of off-the-ball pick for Bang.
Yeah. We'll see how his arrows are. I would imagine they're probably going to be pretty good.
All the AD carries that have been around a long time have always had that Ashe training from years past.
Yep, from the tutorial stuff,
Yep.
of course, yeah.
Build that Thorn Mail on Ashe as fast as possible.
That's right, gotta get that Thorn Mail, man, so those minions hit themselves back.
Another
So
game
powerful.
where SKT have double teleport as well, with Karma riding the teleport. Crown will be taking Cleanse to deal with Ashe. Victor wants to wave clear in the front line, so Cleanse is a necessary thing the moment you see Ashe locked in.
Very true. And so there you have it, the compositions for game number 2. Samsung going for that split push Fiora yet again. We'll see if they can make it run a little bit smoother than we've seen it run before.
Split push Fiora against double teleport is going to be tricky to pull off. So
Yes, it will.
we'll see how Samsung can do it. Again, they haven't been clear in this comp, but they have won with it so far.
That's true. And so here we go. Samsung with a chance to tie it up, send it to game 3, keep their match win streak alive. SK Telecom looking for the 2-0. Let's get in the game and see who takes it. Welcome to Summoner's Drift yet again. Are you kidding me? All right, well, that's Cloud Drake number 4 to start things off.
4 out of 4.
Yippee. Hooray. Samsung versus SK Telecom. It's a great game 1. See what we've got for game number 2. And already a little bit of action here. Faker looking very good on that Karma in game 1.
Different start to the game. You'll remember that Samsung 4-man invaded to get deep vision down, but this game they have decided to divide and conquer, so going to be much more shallower vision available at level 1.
Yeah. Well, that was kind of a weird start last time, wasn't it? We hardly ever see those deep invades.
Getting this Fiora pick running is going to be super interesting to track. So there's different schools of thought to how you should play with a split push Fiora. Obviously, you want to get her an advantage wherever possible. Game 1, Duke had a big advantage, and consistently SKT have engineered their early game around getting Duke a freeze and getting Duke a big CS advantage, then making plays against a team that, okay, might be able to teleport in their Echo, whoever their top laner is, but who's so far behind in CS, they can't actually be a true frontline to tank damage. So to get Fiora ahead, what I want to see is the moment that we see the post-early laning phase, i.e. when Ruler goes back, picks up his tier and is behind in stats, as we see SKT look for an invade.
Well, Wolf and Bang spotted coming into that tri-brush, so they will not be able to do any extra damage to Ruler and Wraith.
But what I want to see is, you know, the moment the tier phase comes in, because of course, Ezreal separated into, I see some trading.
Yeah, that's right. Wraith kind of missing that Q. Wolf, though, nearly getting stunned, but this is going to be a lot of poke coming out of Bang and Wolf.
Ezreal's laning phase has always been separated into pre-tier and post-tier, because he's actually pretty strong level 1 with the ability to Q and auto-attack. But when he picks up the tier and has access to his E, I want to see Ruler enter bot lane, then send 3 people top. Try to snowball Cuvée. We're moving into a meta on 6-11 where Trinity Force top lanes, Jax versus Aurelius skill matchups are going to come up, and we're going to see a lot of jungle ganks for top lane to get the snowball going.
Well, Wolf goes in really deep there, and now Ruler comes in. The exhaust goes down. Ruler flashes away. Wolf flashes as well. So Summoners used on both sides, 2 and 2, but Bang saves both of his, whereas Ruler's flash is down.
Just the idea of a Fiora in a few minutes having both Braum and Elise gank the lane should secure a kill. Fiora will always outscale Echo in the 1v1. The item purchases, the all-in is always been considered a lane counter for Echo, is the Fiora, but pulling off these Fiora comps, as even Samsung has shown this season, can be very tricky to do as the game rolls on.
Well, here comes Ambition, and yeah, that's a ward they really need. Unfortunately for Wolf, he's going to see Ambition right there. Can they get him with the cocoon? Wolf has no flash right now. Wolf in big trouble. I think they may just have to give up this first blood. Teleport coming in for SK Telecom. First blood does go over to Ruler, but Wraith very low, locked up by Faker. There's a kill for Bengi, and they're keeping going with this. Ambition, though, under turret. SK Telecom thinking about a dive now. Bengi and Duke looping around from behind.
Faker's here as well. They've invested 2 teleports. If this goes even, it's actually a massive win for Samsung.
And it looks like it will. Wow. SKT not able to find the dive.
Invested so much. Double teleport investment to go 1-for-1 is actually a big win for Samsung. Fiora gets to pick up the CS. We'll be able to control the wave. You can see Cuvée desperately trying to push it and should get a free item purchase with the wave exactly where he wants it. Will be equalized by the time he gets back to lane. Samsung needed something like that as a tonic for their struggles in game 1, and so far so good.
Yep. And an interesting start to this game already.
Does mean less headaches for the next 5 minutes as double teleport was burned.
Yep.
Actually, Samsung with the teleport advantage, but when you're talking about a Fiora advantage with teleport, she's obviously not a massive teleport flanker unless Wraith has really got in there and got an aggressive and got the CC down for her to play with.
Well, Ruler and Wraith have done a great job this game already of setting that up because they were the ones that caused Wolf to have to burn both of his summoners, as Wolf was, you know, pretty predictably trading as you do on Nami and just wasn't expecting the all-in.
Itemization is not going to be simple for Duke because he's against a magic damage jungler and mid laner, but of course is dealing with a champion that's expected to heavily stay in lane with trade with him, so going to have to split between armor and magic resist.
Yeah.
May have to see Sunfire as a first purchase, although Iceborne Gauntlet is very much the armor item you want to be picking out.
Probably. Faker with a little bit of a CS lead right now. So pretty even in lanes. And they're back to poking.
Yeah, we still haven't seen a purchase, so
yep.
No tier yet for Ruler.
The Banks does still have his biscuit too, so they've got a little bit more sustain. Of course, Wolf has those potions. Not to mention Nami, just with the heal, gives you a lot of survivability.
Watch the top lane matchup. They should again go further and further in the advantage of Cuvée with purchases.
All right, here comes Wolf again. Now, he happened to catch him when Wolf was going into ward last time. Ambition sneaking in, looking for that cocoon. Bang has flash, Wolf still doesn't yet, and it looks like Ambition's going to think better of this one.
Cheat towards the top.
Yep.
See the ward comes down as well, which is probably spotted out by Braum, so they have that information available.
That's right. Good vision for Samsung so far.
Again, they don't have as many things to think about with both teleports down, so laning phase will just be pretty quiet for now. Samsung need to impress us with this Fiora split push. Again, it's 1 games, but in general, it's felt like that's more been about the power of the 4 than necessarily being impressed by Cuvé's performance on the Fiora.
Yeah.
Well, the ult's still there, I guess. I guess it just dropped it on the minions to push.
Yep.
Fun.
Just trying to deny CS to Faker, I suppose.
See Ruler finally getting a chance to shop himself.
Yep. Well, it's probably going to be a little bit of a lull for now. But Samsung looking good in the early parts of this game.
If Samsung can actually pick up the first Drake, that'd be massive for them. It's only Cloud, but don't want to allow any free Drake stacking because you often get into a lot of scenarios when you run these Fiora comps where you prioritize Fiora taking a turret for a Drake. So you're inevitably in the mid game going to give up Drake to try and get those structures, specifically inner and inhibitor turrets wherever possible. So if you can get a couple early to stop there just being exclusive Drakes on the side of SKT, that's really big for Samsung, but obviously not trivial to do once again against double teleport.
All right, Benki with the red buff. I wonder if they can put any pressure onto Cuvée. Seems unlikely.
Also has his summoners up and is a slippery champion. You could invest everything. You know, if you send 3 members top, then I think there's a good chance of taking it down. But
and teleport almost back to Faker now. So SK Telecom is kind of out of the woods when it comes to the TP advantage. Man, another thing is Wraith's Braum was so good last game. He blocked a lot of damage. Got the stuns on the right people. Benki fighting other Raptors, gets the little ones.
Ash Arrow's available, so Ambition has to be careful about how much he commits to any trades in the jungle.
That's a good point. Here comes Wolf. Crown coming down as well. A little bit of damage with the ebb and flow.
But this is what I want to see. Now that you can have Ezreal just sit back, snipe minions, got Sheen and Tyr, it should open up Braum to do some roaming. It's one of the reasons why Ezreal is such an attractive AD carry pickup is he's so damn safe in lane. He can make plays around the map. Speaking of plays.
All right, teleport coming in on SK Telecom. Canceled by Cuvée. Duke still has his TP though.
Suddenly.
And yeah, you gotta wonder if Bang is trying to line up a Ashe ultimate right now.
I mean, this is exactly the time. There
Yeah,
is no way for Cuvée to make it over unless he commits very early. So suddenly, this is the flow-on effect. When you see that teleport cancelled, Bengi can counter jungle as much as he wants because he knows there will be a numbers advantage unless you see Crown invest his time instead of clearing minions to help Ambition just pick up his second red.
Yeah, very true. Bengi walks up to try to take the red buff, gets it. Ambition has to flash over the wall. There's a flash from Faker. They're going to catch Ambition, and they're going to get it. Nice knock up from Bengi. Secure that one. Bang throwing the arrow in somewhere else in the meantime, maybe just to slow up the support that Ambition was going to get from his teammates. And now they may have caught Wraith. No, not quite, it looks like. Crown doing a decent amount of damage on that Victor.
So this is the first big macro error we've seen from Samsung this series. The moment their teleport is down, give up the red buff because you see the flow-on effect. They were always going to lose the trade around red because of the numbers disadvantage, and then bot lane gets zoned off their turret, and then more objectives and more aggressive wards go down, and now double TP has aggressive vision and wards to be able to get into the enemy jungles. Bang!
All right, well,
that was optimistic.
I mean, it was a good. I appreciate it. It was bloodthirsty, so I like it, but you can't hit them all.
If you give up your red buff, you will not see as many advantages go over to SKT. But they get the red, they get some extra CS onto their bot lane, they get the Drake as well, and suddenly things open up for SKT.
They really have. And getting that Cloud Drake, and even that play from Wraith. I mean, it does show a bit of desperation already creeping into the Samsung players.
He needs to be careful here. Only at 400 health. Sheen and ultimate available for Duke. Teleport should be up in just over a minute, so that's when things can be... You can be a bit more aggressive when you're Samsung, but for now, very much head between your legs. You need to be very, very defensive.
Is that how you're defensive?
I meant tail between your legs, but you know.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, that's an interesting pose. Not sure how safe it'll keep you.
I'm surprisingly maneuverable. So.
Wow. That is impressive. Faker's looked really good on this Karma, too. You know, we did talk earlier about the issues that he kind of had on that champion at the end of last season, but it seems like, so far anyway, a lot of those have been solved.
He got caught being too aggressive in game one, then the aggression paid off and they got the picks. So
he does that on every champion, though.
Sure. You get the good with the bad with Faker, and it's a lot more of the good, it turns out.
The over-aggression tends to enable the big plays once in a while. Pretty often, I should say, actually.
Crown comes back, has his 2 Hex Core upgrades, so basically going to be wave clear city from him in the mid lane.
Yep. And Cuvée, Duke has actually managed to even up the CS up in that top lane.
We just haven't seen Elise have any impact around the top lane, so
yeah.
It's been a game where Cuvé's kind of had to be on the back foot, even though he had 12 CS advantage when Duke invested his teleport for no gain in bot lane.
Well, it kind of feels like Ambition is a little bit thrown off by what's happened so far in this game. I mean, he's used to getting caught in the opponent's jungle. He's not used to getting caught in his own jungle, though.
Yeah, this is fair, and he's 20 CS behind Bengi as well.
Yeah.
Speaking of Bengi.
Oh, Wraith. Getting caught. Pops the Braum ultimate, trying to go away. Nice arrow from Bang to secure that one. Or not. Actually, Ruler getting close to the wall. Wraith hops over, and he may get under turret just in time. Looks like he will. Still super low, though. I don't know. This is a pretty dangerous spot for Wraith and Ruler.
Faker teleported, but not to the bot lane, so
yep.
Once again, SKT commit a lot for no gain.
Yeah, they do.
They will continue to control this red side jungle of Samsung.
And Faker dueling with Crown. Crown a bit low there, gets the stun. Crown tries to get away, drops that Chaos Storm. Looks like it's going to be enough.
Crown so steadfast in his summoners, did not use Flash during that engage.
Didn't use his cleanse either.
That means the Victor has to back away. There's a lot of pressure for SKT in the bot, and it's just as blue spawns, so they will be able to look for a couple of extra objectives. Could have been the Rift Herald, but they haven't started that. Seems to just be the blue buff investment, and with Cuvée chunked out, no way for Samsung to stop it.
Yeah. And Faker grabs Samsung's blue buff now. Teleport used to get Cuvée back into top lane. He doesn't want to lose that turret, but he's going right into a trap. There's SK Telecom. Fiora might be in trouble. Grand challenge popped on to Bengi as Faker and Duke come in for this kill. What should be a pretty easy one. Duke taking some damage, and in the end, the kill goes to Faker. That was close. Cuvée made a fight out of it, but SK Telecom got him in the end.
Even though Cuvée had the dance moves, it was the teleport you have to take issue with. They knew that SKT was around their blue buff. Why would you teleport into the middle of what can be a very quick and clean three-man turret dive? So Cuvée kind of brought that one on himself, and now Fiora starts to get set behind. She was already losing out on CS, allowing Duke back into the lane, and that's only going to continue now.
Crown did get a lot of damage onto that mid lane turret, so at least they got a little bit of something out of it. But it's pretty rough for Samsung in that little chain of events.
You know, in another world, you'd be like, okay, they swapped.
Oh, Flash Cocoon hits Wolf. Bang trying to zone out. Ambition goes in for a two-shot barrage, comes through. Wolf with the heal. Summoner heal from Bang helps keep him alive. Nice walk with Prison. Onto Wraith. Bang looking for it. Can he get the kill here? He used the Ash Arrow. Here comes Bangy. Going in for the knockup onto Wraith. Gets stunned by the Braumalt first, though. Doesn't stop him from getting the kill. It's a one-for-one trade in the end. And I believe SK Telecom will take that. They did get the top lane turret as well.
They got the top lane turret. It wasn't a trade for mid, but a small point I wanted to bring up was that if we saw the mid lane, the top turret trade, you'd be like, okay, an extra kill to SKT, but Samsung got the mid turret. That opens up the map. Remember, Samsung aren't playing a team comp that actually benefits from getting that deep vision. Obviously, everyone loves vision, but it's not Maokai teleporting behind. It's a Fiora who basically wants to be parked in the opposite lane to wherever the action is happening. So because they don't have a teleport flank comp, mid lane turret is slightly lower priority, so the trade wouldn't be as attractive as in any other game.
It's very true.
Gold lead still only small, was basically in the same spot in game 1 as it is in game 2.
Yep. And Samsung making this game competitive. To their credit, they're certainly not rolling over and dying like we see a lot of other teams do in their second game versus SK Telecom. Even if this ends up being a 2-0, it was still a pretty good performance for Samsung.
It's been competitive. There was no guarantee that it would be.
Yep.
So it being competitive so far is a good thing.
Very true. I mean, and Samsung, after this series, no matter how it turns out, has a lot of season left to improve.
Will be equal second, I believe, at that point.
Faker just loading the damage onto Cuvée in that top lane.
While he can trade very well with the Echo, the Karma is a different proposition for Cuvée on the Fiora. Doesn't have any magic resist, so even with the sustain, extended trades with Karma are going to be just fine for Faker.
And another Cloud Drake, why not? Why not? Just all Cloud Drakes today.
It's a Cloud Fiesta.
I guess so. It is a Cloud Fiesta, that's absolutely right.
Sadly not a Crown Fiesta just yet.
Not yet, not yet. Maybe later.
How about another one? Yeah!
Oh, wow.
Triple Cloud.
Well, at least Samsung got that one, so that is one for each side now.
Now both teams can get to mid lane 0.5 seconds faster.
Yay! What a buff! Oh, Crown able to take the blue though. Cocoon onto Bengi as he comes in. SK Telecom thinking about collapsing. The teleport bringing Faker down to the bot lane. There's a tidal wave from Wolf. It does slow up. Wraith and Ambition. Ambition already very low. Ruler caught completely by Faker and Bang. That's going to be 2 kills as Ambition falls. And now the jump immediately onto Crown. Duke going for it. Misses that parallel convergence. But Crown still on the run. Can Wolf catch him? Duke taking a lot of damage. Crown's turns. Duke just ults back for a bit more health.
Just like game 1, though, this is when Cuvée has no teleport. Double teleport available, only one required. Duke takes a lot of damage.
Whoa, gotta be careful. Crown going in. Does he get it? He does. Duke overstaying his welcome in that mid lane, and Crown, a great mid laner, certainly capitalizes on that.
Samsung can get this top lane turret. Fiora gets some more free time with the minion wave. Okay, it'll be a turret trade, but not the worst trade once again. But this is what happens with teleport advantages, and it's always so well timed by SKT. It's when Cuvée can't be there, so again, it can be, at worst, a 5v4 from the side of SKT. It's a good commitment. They get the 2 very quick kills. They don't get the 3rd, though, and after this ends up being a 1-for-2 with Fiora getting a bit of free wave time and pushing in top lane turret. So, advantage SKT, but only slightly.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like what we saw in the first game, though. We saw those even trades as far as objectives went, and in the end, SK Telecom just had that moment where they decided to win the game, and then they did. Very, very quickly. It was pretty much the moment where I said it was going to be a longer game. I think that was the key right there.
He talked about the average game time increasing, then 2 minutes later the game was over.
I know, yeah.
The caster curse is real.
It is. It is. I'm not even going to make a prediction about this one. Who knows?
Fidora's item build should actually do pretty well against Duke. Obviously not got the Black Cleaver just yet, but that will be the completion of the second item. And it's a different team comp to game one. Samsung have reliable wave clear. They have a team that can maneuver away. Cleanse means that Victor can walk up, wave clear, even with the threat of the Ash arrow. So when that cleanse is up, their ability to hold waves while Fiora split pushes is actually pretty solid.
True.
And if the mid turret stays up and we can't see the teleport flanks from Faker like in game one, that should be the big objective for Samsung, is keeping this mid lane turret up as long as possible.
You know, the other thing to consider here is that Duke, has had to build a lot of armor against Kuve's Fiora, and so that means that Crown, like we saw in that last fight, able to do a lot of damage to him. Faker comes in onto Crown, forcing the flash as Bengi looks for that knockup. So one summoner down for SK Telecom.
Objective to take in the bot side of the map. Again, they really want this mid lane turret. But the hold and the pathing from Ambition has been good. You can see the turret basically at 90% HP.
Yeah.
Duke wants to get frisky here.
Does he now?
They have Ash Arrow and, of course, the parallel convergences. Yep, just a zoning ult.
Yeah, just going for the wave clear. And that's going to prevent the dive from SK Telecom. Faker still using his shield to do some damage to the turret.
I've never seen the Victor ult be used with no intention of hitting a minion wave, but with the changes, you can do that.
Oh, Bengi onto Ruler. Ruler arcane shifts away. Remember, he has no flash right now. Still has that summoner heal, but it's not going to be enough. Doesn't even bother popping it. He knew he was going to go down. And SKT just finds another pick. And that's been a problem for Samsung.
Yeah, the teleport from Cuve was actually really bad. There was no chance he'd get there fast enough. He obviously didn't respect the fact that 3 members could be roaming there, so no way for him to force anywhere near an even trade. So that's another summoner wasted on the side of Cuve.
Yep.
It's pretty aggressive, remember.
Yeah,
Fiora's backing at this point.
This is a classic Ambition here. Going into enemy jungle, he gets away with it. He takes the red buff. But that's a situation where we've seen Ambition die a lot in the past.
Wait, Bengi has a Tiamat.
Whoa.
He's actually building damage on this. He's going to go for the Titanic Hydra. He doesn't have a Sightstone on Rek'Sai at 21 minutes.
I like it. He's getting aggressive. He's changing it up.
This is literally never happened before. He has no Sightstone and no Tracker's Knife. Bengi's going damage.
Our little jungler is growing up. He's going damage.
Ah, yes, the little jungler evolving after 2 world championships.
Yep. 2 wasn't enough. He's got to find his final form for the 3rd.
Didn't catch who got the smite there.
I believe it was Ambition.
That makes sense. Yes, smite on cooldown.
Yep, I think he got it. And Dragon back up in 40 seconds. But again, it's another Cloud Drake, so who really kills? Oh, Ruler caught again. There's the Arcane Shift. Flashes. That Summoner's down again. Nice Aqua Prison by Ruth. Wraith comes in to try to save him. And Bengi, ooh, wow, taking a bit of damage.
See, Bengi's not used to being forced to turret dive with damage. If that was Sightstone Bengi, you don't even consider going for the turret dive, but...
I realized that I tried to say Ruler and Wolf at the same time, and it said Roof. That didn't work. I guess if Bengi knocks up Ruler, he raises his Roof then. Saved it. There we go.
Oh boy.
Oh, bang. But, I mean, that's another, both summoners down for Ruler, and he has had a really hard time farming at this point. He just can't go forward. Ambition forced to flash away from that one.
Flash is getting blown left, right, and center. Cuve has his teleport back in about 25 seconds.
Yep.
No one spotted the pink wards. That's a bit of extra vision for Samsung.
I suppose.
Interesting to watch these trades in top lanes pre-Black Cleaver, but you can see Cuve's health bar seems to be going faster down than Duke.
Oh yeah, no kidding. Duke actually doing really well against Cuve, getting the flash.
Oh,
Duke takes him out 1v1 at Fiora. or that Echo rather, doing work on the Fiora.
Gone full armor build, even gone for the Ninja Tabi, and allows him to get the solo kill. Cuvée didn't find the time to shop because he didn't have Black Cleaver Gold. On the other side of the map, it's going to be Dragon over to SKT.
Yeah, that's their second Cloud Drake, and oh, I didn't see what the next one was. Oh well. Ooh, Faker getting hit, taking a lot of damage actually. There's a shield, dodges a true shot barrage. Wolf helping him stay alive with just a little bit more speed boost and health from that Nami. Wraith looking for Faker.
Yeah, Duke this whole time was just wailing away on the inner turret. Didn't get a lot of damage on it. We can't actually confirm the value just yet. Nope, scoreboard's going to cover that.
Oh well. SKT coming in. Ruler takes a big shot. There's the Ash Arrow. Can they capitalize? Nice block on the tidal wave from Wraith, but Ruler is so low. He'll survive, but just barely. Ambition getting the kill onto Wolf. In response, that's a double kill for Ambition now. And SKT diving a little bit too deep there. Whoops.
Bengi's play with Titanic Hydra is hilarious because you can see that he knows he needs to be more aggressive than he usually is, but he's baiting himself into really bad scenarios.
He's like, this is where I fight now.
This is what the damage junglers do. I will copy them.
That's right. I must go and kill them. But it was a great arrow from Bang, threading the needle, and that block from that block on the tidal wave from Bengi or from Wraith rather really turned it around.
Oh, Bengi, never change. He's trying to change, but never change.
He's doing good. It's cute.
Hey, Cuvée.
Yeah. Cuvée looking okay on that Fiora, unless it's a 1v1 against Duke.
The items just pile on now, able to build magic resist Duke, because he already has his armor core down. And there's no one really to tank the frontline damage from
Here
Faker.
we go. Duke coming in, TPing in behind Ruler, and again, Ruler with no summoners, just had Arcane Shift. The arrow misses. Doesn't matter. And another kill for Bang as Duke keeps him slowed up with the parallel convergence. Keeps him stunned. Bengi's like, I have to fight. I have to clear the minions. Maybe we're finally seeing the rookie tendencies show for Ruler in what is now his 10th game at the competitive level, because he's been shadowed by SKT. Wherever he's gone, we've seen multiple members rotate through that lane and pick him off. You usually think it's the Fiora that gets shadowed, but it's been all about the Ezreal. Oh, Cuvée takes out the turret, pops the grand challenge onto Bengi. Here comes Duke. Can he save his jungler? He can. Bengi stays alive. Duke barely getting there in time, but I think you're right about Ruler. I mean, he's been such a great AD carry, but SK Telecom have definitely employed the pick on the new guy strategy in this game, and it shows. Ruler's been caught many times.
Every time he looks for farm, because remember, he's 50 CS behind his opponent, so he's been rotating to find farm to stay competitive. It's just the SKT knows that, so the next step is to be to head him off wherever he enters lane.
Yeah.
And result has been a growing CS discrepancy, and wherever Duke goes, it seems to turn to gold this season, as he looks really good. Getting a solo kill in an unfavored matchup, a considered counter matchup of the Echo.
So. Oh, we've seen this before. Faker chase out of lane by the Chaos Storm. Wolf there to save him.
It's surprising how effective the opening with Chaos Storm has been
working.
working.
True shot barrage! Nearly kills Faker. Ruler, I mean, you can talk about this guy being a rookie, but he is on point when it comes to those ultimates.
I mean, his teamfight mechanics have been outstanding. It's just getting caught around the map. It's just the sort of stuff you can't practice in solo queue. It's those team macro rotations where he's been caught out a little bit this game.
Very true. All right, they do get the mid lane turret there as well. And SK Telecom has still not been able to get it on the Samsung side.
Or to grow any semblance of a gold lead. It's 1,200 gold, which, again, not a big story at 27 minutes. The Drakes, there are 3 of them, 2 of them to SKT, but they are Cloud Drakes, so once again, non-combat related stats.
Oh, arrow onto Wraith. Gets blown up. There it is, and Duke coming in from behind. Duke picks up that kill in the end. There's the tidal wave forcing the flash out of Crown. SK Telecom, they really want this mid lane turret. They will take it.
The Ashe is such a great answer to something like a Fiora, because Fiora wants to split push, and they've got the engage they need from the AD carry role.
Yeah.
And it's allowing them to force things where other teams kind of had to watch as Fiora took turrets.
A cocoon on to Bengi. He's going to cancel the recall from Bang as he turns around to try to help out his jungler.
In the very near future, we need to see a tipping point where Cuvée is able to 1v1 this Echo, because if it doesn't happen, he's going to team fight worse than a Fiora. Than an Echo. That's just the reality of the Fiora pick. And the 4-1 strategy goes out the window, and suddenly SKT really have the measure of this game.
Yep.
Right now, Duke's deciding it for the side of SKT.
Bang's Ash Arrow almost back up again. Looks like he's going to recall first.
Feels like you have to get QSS on multiple members of the four-man crew. Obviously not Crown as he has Cleanse, but QSS is the only way that this four-man group can actually push. Otherwise, they just kind of have to watch and respect the arrow from Bang.
Well, they're pushing now. Here comes Bang, though. They do have to back away, you're right. Duke looking like he wants to come in from the side. Couldn't find the angle. Good zone from Crown on that gravity field to keep him out. Now the recall from Cuvée. See what he buys. 30 seconds until the next dragon, and or Drake rather, and we don't know which one that is yet.
Right, unlikely to be the Cloud Drake. So
you say that, but
I'm hopeful, Doa.
We'll see. We'll see.
Karma just split pushing in top. Both teleports are up for SK Telecom.
And pings go down from Samsung. They really want this next Drake, whatever it is.
It's going to be the Bloodthirsters. He's sticking with the same build as Cuvée.
Yep. That's right.
Look at the damage just from one single E from Duke.
I know. Cuvée, I mean, he's gone pure damage, like we said on that Fiora, so.
But what do you achieve if you have to hang back the moment that the champion that you so-called counter enters lane? It just doesn't have pressure, which is 2 levels behind, so
that
bit understandable.
That is an Infernal Drake. And there's the arrow onto Ambition. SK Telecom wants to engage here. Ruler chased away by Bengi. Duke there as well. Ruler just continuously on the defensive. Nice tidal wave comes through. Oh, it only hits Ruler, though. I thought I was going to get a lot more, but they got a lot of summoners out of Samsung. The poke on the AD carry may be enough, and this Infernal Drake is huge. A big damage boost for SK Telecom. Faker just distracted people in the mid lane. Nice play from Crown, and Faker will get taken out, but I'd say that's worth it. They just got the Infernal Drake.
Unless, of course, they can take a Baron off the back of this, Doa.
Yeah, that's true. They may be able to. The death timers are above 40 seconds right now.
Looks like, given that they've meandered for the first few seconds, that's not going to happen. So as you say, Infernal Drake for 1 pick, not massive for the side of Samsung. The big story, though, is Cuvée wasn't at the fight. It was another 5v4 that didn't get a lot for SKT, but Cuvée hasn't been split pushing and he hasn't been impacting fights. So that lets you know that at the moment he's been pretty anonymous on this Fiora.
Right. And so, SKT. A slightly bigger gold lead, but really not much of one at all. It's been, you know, almost, I would say, a closer game than game 1.
Have to agree. Will the Bloodthirster be the tipping point where Cuvée can actually apply pressure to Duke, or will just getting to the same level, because it's worth knowing he's been a level to 2 levels behind consistently, be enough for him? He's not going to show. He's very overextended this point. He's bringing Elise over. Can they 2v1 this Echo?
I think they might be able to, yeah. Duke playing with fire here. And it is a 2v1. They're going to try to make a play. Duke, though, just backing into that parallel convergence. Yep, just good zoning, and you really can't engage on that.
Yeah, the moment the Cocoon goes wide, there's no way for them to look for even the world's most optimistic attempt to chase down the kill onto this Echo.
Very true. Well, there's a grand challenge from Cuvée. He's just going to go for the 1v1. Duke can still ultimate. He can still ult back to gain a bit of health, but it looks like he's just going to run away.
Yeah, both players had Flash available, so Flash was down on Duke. Maybe you take it.
No recall. Now he's going to try it. SKT milling around that Baron, though. They've got the teleport if they need to bring Duke in.
Duke kept everything available, has teleport himself. Cuvé's going to back. Remember, if he does teleport into a fight, he's still about 20 seconds away from Grand Challenge.
Yeah.
The map pressure this Karma pick brings, and the moment she exits a lane, walks in, you don't want to face check her damage. That allows Bengi to continue to get really good ward control.
Very true.
Note down this game as a timestamp. It's 30+ minutes in, and Bengi still doesn't have a side stone or a tracker's knife.
Wow. Super aggro Bengi. I like it.
Battle Bengi.
Battle Bengi, right. He is the Battle Ward now. Battle Ward 2.0.
He has the highest First Blood participation in the league.
Yeah.
So his bloodthirstiness has been noted already.
Well, it's weird. We see Peanut only building trackers, knives, and sight stones, and then we see Bengi, the one getting aggressive now.
It's a weird and wonderful world we live in.
Wow, SK Telecom, there's no vision right now for Samsung, so they are going for this Baron. And so far, Ambition checks it, gets caught with the Ash Arrow right away. Ruler goes away right into Duke. Duke with the parallel convergence, a huge stun, and SK Telecom may have found their fight. Ruler backs away, Duke gets the kill anyway. Bengi backs off for a moment with the grand challenge on him, and Duke is just wrecking people in the back lines. Run, Crown, no, it's too late. Double kill for Duke, and SK Telecom should be able to claim an early Baron now.
And Duke took so long to warm up to SKT. He had a pretty poor start to the spring season, but he is going wild in summer. His KDA is super impressive, was 19.3, highest in the league coming into this game. Only died 3 times, added a couple more deaths, but he is deciding this game, whereas QV has just been on the fringes, trying to get a look in. No looks past Duke.
Yeah, easy Baron taken for SK Telecom, no opposition at all. Let's watch that fight again.
Again, Duke's the big story here. So he just walks in. This isn't a teleport engage. The parallel converges in such a beautiful area, gets the stun onto Ruler, who heals, will eventually get away. Ults back in for damage, does Duke, chases onto Ruler. That part's great, but the second parallel convergence is also in a wonderful spot. He allows everyone to carry back. He knows how tanky he is, continues to control space. Duke decided that fight. He was in the position. Remember, he'd roamed down just to allow him to get there faster than the Fiora. Beautiful to watch.
Yeah, 5-1 and 4 on that Echo now. Came into this match with a really high KDA, and looks like he's probably going to keep it. And Kuve, I mean, this Fiora, as they hand over the red buff to, or the blue buff rather, the Faker, this Fiora, again, you know, we see it used by Samsung, and it's just not working.
I think the Fiora is a good champion. I think there's a way to make this Fiora comp work. It's just, he didn't feel like Samsung rotated around their split push advantage like SKT rotated around getting Duke a big CS advantage in game 1. All that play was ordered. All of it made sense. Applying pressure, opening up turret guys. That's a playstyle that could have happened. It's why I wanted to see Ezreal in the bot lane with Tia, Braum.
Oh, here we go. Ultimate onto Ambition, gets knocked up by the Aqua Prison as well. Wraith defensively using the Braum ultimate, but he does not make it out. And that's an easy turret take. Now for SK Telecom, I think the snowball may have begun to roll a bit too fast for Samsung to stop now.
It's a team effort to set up Fiora's split pushing success, and they did not get a team effort from them, and now look at Duke, he's just added a Guardian Angel casually.
Yep, pretty much, and Bengi just casually takes that tier 2 turret in top lane. SK Telecom looking like they are getting ready to end this one.
We'll continue. Duke can just walk forward. No one can go anywhere near him.
That's right.
It's going to be the mid lane inhibitor for SKT.
Yep.
Wraith's back up now.
And what do you do? I mean, it was a good attempt by Samsung. They really actually performed pretty well today, but SK Telecom just looking, once again, so unstoppable. You really wonder when this team is ever going to run out of momentum.
The worrying thing is that if you summarize this series to someone who didn't watch it, you know, if you're familiar with this and you're like, okay, what happened in this series? You're like, well, Samsung tried their 1-2 punch. They tried late game team fight, and then they tried Fiora split push. Those are the 2 strategies they've shown so far in Champion Summer, and both of them were found wanting.
Yeah, very true. And I think if you're Samsung, you may have to go back to the drawing board and think of a couple new things here. Bang just grabs that red buff. He's in a ward, though. Not anymore, but a little bit risky. And there goes the inhibitor turret, already very low.
Lane matchups or lane counts don't matter when there's so many items piled onto Duke.
Yep. Oh, arrow onto Ambition. A nice pick yet again from SK Telecom, and they can just bounce right back and take the Elder Dragon if they want to. Duke looping around from behind. Doing some decent damage, but I think they may want to fight this and end it right here. There's the tidal wave going through the middle of everything. Ruler zoned out by it. Duke on top of him already. Crown does not survive very long, and both carries taken out almost immediately by SK Telecom. And with the death timers the way they are, I think this is going to be the end of the game.
They don't have a minion wave in mid, so they actually kind of have to back away. They're distracted between finishing mid, bot lane inhibitor turret, and going mid.
Wow. All right, Kuve going back in, flashes back onto Bang, looking for the kill, but Bang responds with that damage from that Ashe. And it's a bit too much for Kuve to handle. Looks like they don't want to end it just yet. I don't know, I feel like they Might be able to when that next minion wave comes in. Ambition coming up in 4. He's not a big threat, though, on that Elise.
Juve flashed into kill bank, hoping that'll be enough to stop the game ending, but doesn't look like it was.
I don't think so, man. Ambition caught yet again, knocked up by the Rex side. There goes Nexus Turret 1. There goes Nexus Turret 2. And so, the two undefeated teams meet, and in the end, unsurprisingly perhaps, SK Telecom gets another 2-0.
Sadly, it's become increasingly an LCK summer special. Build up a team with a head of steam beating other teams around the league to face SKT, and then SKT knocks them down. They even let Samsung grab their greatest hits of their 8-0